And here we go, our first crew of the day rolling up toward the dock, and let's see how our crew fares as they come in on approach. And we're already getting a quick brake check back as Captain comes in and tries to adjust the approach angle. But welcome back, crew, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting 79th Street. So Cap's got that angle readjusted, moving in on the approach now. Oh man, we got somebody standing in the bow. And she goes for the leap and goes down, and now winds up having to step over the line. But quick work, she's back on her feet, trying to get it tied around the dock. And almost lose our guy here on the stern as well, as he was pushing against the boat and it started to back up on him. So Cap hits reverse to try and bring it back around, but he's left the helm and they're still in reverse. So the boat's going away. Cap's not even rushing back. There we go. Going back to the helm. Try and get it back under control and back into neutral. What a mess. Our guy in the bow's like, bro, get me off of this thing, as he bails out on the boat as well. So our crew is struggling early here as they try and get this one tied up onto the dock. So we've got 3 of the 5 crew members now standing on the dock, and the vessel itself drifting back off, and Cap's gonna have to come back in on another approach to try and see if he can get this one right. Now the good news on this one is he's done what I recommend a lot. When things get all mixed up, go ahead and back all the way out. Just completely reset your approach, which is what it appears like he's gonna do here, but I don't know. It looks like he's gonna try and come in at a funky angle now, as he's gonna turn heavy, and I guess we're gonna get a super heavy bow and approach as they come in on the dock. So here we go, and somebody's got their hand on the bow. Can they get them walked over? I mean, we've had the line on the bow the whole time. There we go, finally, light bulb. Let's get a stern line off this thing. Get both the stern and the bow brought over at the same time so we can try and get this thing tied up. The struggle here with the lines is just crazy though. And our crew's working their way in and getting the lines on the ready. It looks like our vessel is down an engine, which always makes it interesting, especially on a twin engine boat. Well, I mean, I guess obviously on a single engine boat it'd make it interesting too with no engine, but on a twin engine boat, since the engines are offset, everything just happens a little different, and it's not the same as pushing forward on a single engine because the engine's offset. Everything happens a little different. So Cap looks like he's got it lined up. His crew's got the line on the ready. And here we go on the approach. So she begins to move up toward the bow. He brake checks back out already, which tells me he didn't like the way the approach was going. And you can see that he's struggling as he's trying to get this one going with the single motor there. So she's moving back toward the bow again. He's going to try one more time to try and bring this boat in on approach. And coming in now. Coming in a little hot. Going to have to brake check it back out. I'm assuming he's just trying to get the right angle, and that's why he's applying that much speed. Oh, but he's all over the place on the throttles. He's coming in at a little bit of an angle now. So there's somebody standing on the dock. I wonder if they can get the assist here. And he kind of grabs the front of the boat, and somebody else is coming up to give her a hand, and she's going to toss the line. Now, fortunately for them on this one, they get the assist because Cap looked like he was definitely going to struggle as he was trying to approach on this. So they've got it onto the dock, and they're going to try and work the vessel around. She will pass off the line, and they should be good to roll on this one and have the boat set to hopefully get it pulled out. So now our crew with the down engine has been sitting here for a while. Just literally sitting here. And finally, I think our girl's had enough. She's walking up to tell the crew in front of her, like, bro, can you move so we can get this boat pulled out? So it looks like he's talking to her like, hey, yeah, we're going to get out of here in a few moments. But I mean, they've been waiting quite a while now. And the crew that's in front of them just literally has been just sitting there on the boat. Not really doing much of anything besides sitting there. So it looks like Cap, yep, they're going to grab some lines and finally try and move this thing. But just another one of those situations down here at the boat ramp where people just, it's the same thing. Ramp courtesy. If you're going to launch and you're going to be sitting there for a long time, pull yourself into a spot where people can get in front of you and still use the lane. Because if you're up there in the front of the lane like this, nobody can back in, nobody can get out. And it happens too often where people just launch with really no intent of going anywhere anytime soon. They launch, then just sit there on the dock while they're waiting either on somebody to get the truck and come back, they're waiting on other guests to show up, they're waiting on somebody to go get ice for the cooler, whatever various factors it might be. So at least in this situation though, it appears the boat's being cool about it. Very many times down here, we see this go the opposite way. Somebody walks up and asks, hey, can you move your boat? And the next thing we know, a big argument breaks down about what's going on down at the ramp. But this crew's gonna pull out of their way, and they're gonna be able to move this one forward. So crew's grabbing the lines now, and they should be one step closer to getting this thing out of the water. Again, being one motor down, it probably would have been difficult for this crew to try and go around the vessel even. So the good thing is that boat pulling off, because now they can just walk it forward and try and walk it onto the trailer here in a few moments, probably. And speaking of walking things on and off trailers, the old walk the line down method. And let's see how this one plays. So she's coming back, our crew's backing it in. I can't tell if the line's on the other side of the pole or not right now. And that's where things always get a little complicated because it definitely looks like it's on that side of the pole. When I start to see these boats back it out, it's can they get that around? And even one more step further than that, they basically are hitting the dock now as they're backing the boat down. So they're trying to get it off. And a couple tugs. And man, that trailer's got to be into the dock. But there we go, they're pulling forward now. And the boat will get off, and they'll be good to go. And speaking of good to go, we're going to go ahead and get out of here as well. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.